everyone, welcome this week to Real Hair Revelations. So excited to talk to you as I am every single week, and I am so thrilled to talk about this particular topic because I see this all the time. People always ask me, you guys email me, you guys send me DMs, you slide in my DMs, y'all stop me at conferences and expos and events, and you always ask me, hey, I am using X, Y, and Z product on my hair, but my hair is so dry, I don't understand what's going on. Gwen, can you help me? And this is a very, very common misconception that certain products are to be used for certain things, but they're not. So we're going to go through 3 of them today that you're using either yourself or your girlfriend, somebody you know, whether it's you or your very close girlfriend, your sister, your mother, whomever, using these products completely wrong, and it's affecting your hair, it's screwing your hair up, and it's not because the product isn't working, it's because you're using it for what you're trying to use it for something it's not made for, okay? So let's get started with the first one. The first one is the most common one that I see is oil. So, and we're going to caveat that and say oil and or grease, right? So think about back in the day, depending on how old you are, if you're, relatively very young, maybe like a teenager, maybe even early, very, very, very early 20s, you may not have grown up with this. But the rest of us, I'm pretty sure, have all experienced our mamas or grandmamas greasing our scalp, right? So my mom, for example, would grease my scalp. They would use Sulfur 8 or Blue Magic or whatever it was, right? And they would literally sit you in between their legs and they would grease your scalp. And the purpose of that was, I wanted to keep your scalp from being dry, but also to try and moisturize your hair and keep your hair itself from being so dry. We know nowadays that actually doesn't work for moisturizing your hair. Now, maybe it does keep some flakes away or what have you, but it has nothing to do with moisturizing your hair. And in fact, a lot of those products that they used back in the day are known now to clog your pores. So even if you're trying to use it for, keeping your scalp from dryness or flakiness, a lot of times it just ends up clogging your pores, and your hair can't thrive and grow because that stuff is literally clogging the pores of your scalp. So, but I digress. When it comes to your hair, oils and greases are not moisturizers, okay? As we discussed in several other videos, and I always have to reiterate, moisturizers are moisturizers, period, point blank. Oils are not moisturizers. Oils are designed to lock in whatever they are on top of. And I don't even advise using grease, period, right? So we're just going to talk about oils, because I'm going to tell y'all, don't even use greases, because the majority of them have crap in them that is negatively affecting your hair. They have all sorts of mineral oil, which we've talked about is a moisture blocker. It literally blocks moisture from getting to your hair. A lot of them also have very, very drying alcohols in them, which is completely counterproductive to what they're supposed to be used for. And so I'm gonna just tell you all, stay away from greases altogether, okay? But when it comes to oils are not moisturizers. And this is the most common one, and I think it's because most of us have grown up with our mamas and our grandmamas oiling our scalps or greasing our hair. And remember, oils lock in whatever they are on top of. So if you are they're sealants essentially. So they seal or lock in whatever they're on top of. So if you're trying to use an oil as a moisturizer, you're going to be sorely disappointed, because if you put an oil on top of your already dry hair, you're basically just going to be locking in dryness, right? And so what you need to be doing if you want to try to moisturize your hair, you need to find a moisturizer that's a good moisturizer. We talked about what that is before, and I'll bring that back up in a few minutes. But you need to be using a good moisturizer on your hair. Moisturizer goes first, and then the oil goes on top of that to lock it in. So there's nothing wrong with oils, make sure that you're using the good oil, right? Nothing wrong with oils. But you just have to make sure you're using them in the right order and layering them properly. We talked about layering last week. So you want to make sure moisturizer first and then the oil on top of that, okay? So do not use your oil as a moisturizer. And this goes for any oil. I know we could talk about jojoba oil. We could talk about I'm drawing a blank here. Olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, really any kind of oil, okay? No oils whatsoever are to be used as moisturizers. Now, I know someone's going to say, well, what about coconut oil? Because coconut oil is a different molecular structure, and coconut oil does have the ability to penetrate your hair much more so than most oils, most other oils. Most other oils just sit on top of your hair, but coconut oil does have the ability to actually penetrate your hair. However, it is still not an adequate moisturizer. It's just not. You can try this for yourself. Take some coconut oil, put it on your hair, and you're going to find that your hair is still dry. Okay, so coconut oil is great. It has a lot of really great properties. I love coconut oil for hot oil treatments. I love coconut oil for scalp moisturizing. So if you are trying to keep away like flakes and dryness and stuff, don't use a grease. Use like a grease like Sulfur Aid or Blue Magic or whatever. Don't use those. Instead, use something like coconut oil, because coconut oil does have the ability to penetrate your pores and not clog them in the process. Okay, it's what we call non-comedogenic in the beauty industry, but basically it means it doesn't clog your pores. Right? So no oils are to be used as moisturizers. That's the first product that a lot of people are using incorrectly. And it's frustrating because you're slapping this stuff on your hair and you're like, why is my hair still so dry? And that's why, because you're locking in dryness, but you're hoping to moisturize your hair and you're not getting, it's not happening because you're using it for the wrong purpose. That's the first product. Number two is conditioner. This is the second biggest one. I see people all the time on Instagram and they're always like, I use so much leave-in conditioner. It's usually leave-in conditioner, not really regular washout conditioner, that you guys are using incorrectly. Conditioners are not moisturizers, you guys. Conditioners are not designed to moisturize your hair. Conditioners are great. Leave-in conditioners are fantastic, but they are not moisturizers, okay? You can use all the leave-in conditioner in the world. It's not going to sufficiently moisturize your hair because conditioners are designed to work on the outside of your hair, and that's it, okay? Moisturizers are designed to actually penetrate more and work on the inside of your hair as well as the outside. So the problem with dry hair is that the core of our hair is dry as well as the outside. So when you're trying to moisturize your hair with leave-in conditioner, what you're actually doing is just literally conditioning the outside of your hair. So think about it like this. You know how a lot of times when you wash your hair, depending on what you wash it with, sometimes your hair feels a little rough, right? And once you put the conditioner on, it feels smooth again, right? Everybody with me? That's what conditioner does. That's it. That's all it does. It works on the outside of your hair to smooth that hair down, to help the light reflect on it so it will be shiny, all that great stuff. Again, all these things are great and things that we want, but it's not a moisturizer. So once that conditioner ends up drying, which is going to do, you're going to be left with dry hair because the core of your hair is still dry because you haven't put anything on it to actually penetrate that hair shaft, right? You've just been working on the outside of your hair. So if you're using leave-in conditioner and you're going through leave-in conditioner like it's water and you're still like, why is my hair so dry? I don't understand. It's because you're using a product with one intention when it's not meant for that, okay? So don't throw away your leave-in conditioner. By no means, don't throw away your leave-in conditioner. You can still use it. You just need to get a moisturizer that will also moisturize your hair from the inside out, okay? All right, so that's number two. The third product that you guys are using incorrectly, and I'm using this as an umbrella term, okay? So this encompasses several of these types of products, are curl definers. So we're going to talk about curl definers. I'm referencing also curl creams, anything that's more like a styling sort of product designed to make your curls defined. Now, here's the caveat here. Some products are both moisturizers and curl definers or styling creams. We have one. It is step 2. It is our Moisture Infusion Styling Cream, which is a moisturizer as well as a styling cream. It's in the name, Moisture Infusion Styling Cream. It's step 2 in our line. But there are a lot of products that are not moisturizers. They're just styling creams, okay? So your product should indicate that it is a moisturizer and a styling cream if you're going to use it for both purposes. But a lot of times you guys are trying to use curl definers or curl creams or even hair milk or whatever as a moisturizer, when a lot of times they're not made for that. They're literally just designed to curl your hair or help to define the curls. And a lot of times those curl definers are also gels, right? So they're basically gels, and they give it a fancy name and call it curl cream or curl definer or whatever. But a lot of times they're really they're really like creams that have like a gel-like substance blended into them to help your curls have more hold and that sort of thing. And so they're really just gels, and we know a lot of times that gels have alcohols in them. What do alcohols do? Not all alcohols are bad, but a lot of alcohols, most of them are man-made in a lab, and they are drying, right? They're drying alcohol. So it's drying your hair in the process. And the last thing that we want as women or people in general who have naturally dry hair is another product that's going to dry our hair, right? We don't want that. So, because when you have dry hair, when you have consistently dry hair, you also have breakage, you also have split ends, you also have dryness, you also have brittleness. A lot of times you have shedding. A lot of times you just have horrible looking hair. Your twist outs and all that stuff don't look right. It's just a mess, right? So your curl cream or curl definer very oftentimes is going to be just a gel, okay? Or a gel-like substance. Or it may not even be a gel. It may be an actual cream that's really just designed to style your hair. And again, there's nothing wrong with this product, provided that the ingredients in it are up to par. And we've talked about ingredients before. If you missed that video, just search in the Naturalicious Nation for Real Hair Revelations, and all of my videos will pop up. So you guys will find it very easily. But as long as the ingredients are good to go, that product may only be designed to style your hair, and that's it. And so you guys are trying to use it in hopes that it's also moisturizing your hair, and you've got these like, you know, pretty decent or even nice looking curls sometimes from some of these products, but your hair is still bone dry and you can't understand why, and that's why. So make sure that you are using your curl cream or your curl gel or whatever as a curl cream or curl gel. That is all it is usually designed for. If you are looking to use a moisturizer, make sure that your moisturizer actually says moisturizer. Also, as we've discussed in the past, you want to make sure that your moisturizer has water as the very first ingredient. We've talked about before that water is the most moisturizing thing you can ever put on your hair. If you need proof of that, think about how great your hair oftentimes looks when you wash it. It often curls up, it looks really, really good, but eventually it dries because that's the nature of water. Water eventually dries and evaporates. And so what good moisturizers do is they combine really, really, really great ingredients along with water with the hope and intention of maintaining that moisture balance in your hair over time, okay? So provided that you're using these products consistently, you will find that a good moisturizer will keep your hair moisturized, and it'll keep your curls defined, it'll keep your hair soft and manageable and beautiful and all of that stuff. So these are the 3 products that you guys are oftentimes using as moisturizers, wondering why your hair is still so dry, and it's because they're not moisturizers at all. So I'm going to recap everything really quickly to just kind of bring this all full circle. The first thing that you're using incorrectly is oil. Oil is not a moisturizer. Oil is a sealant. So whatever you put oil on top of, it is going to lock it in. So if you put oil on top of your dry hair without moisturizing it first, you're going to end up with dry hair because it's going to lock in dryness. What you want to do is you want to make sure you use a really great moisturizer first, put that on your dry hair, and then put on the oil on top of that, because then your hair will lock in, the oil will lock in the moisture, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing that you're using incorrectly is conditioner, specifically leave-in conditioners. Conditioners are not designed to moisturize your hair. Conditioners are designed literally to moisturize the outside shaft of your hair. That is it. Again, when you wash your hair, a lot of times your hair feels a little bit rough, right? And then you put the conditioner on and it smooths your hair down. That's what it does. That's all it does. And then putting a leave-in conditioner on routinely after that, right after that, ensures that hair shaft, the little fibers of your hair, it stays down and it's smooth and it reflects light and it does all these great things, but it's not going to moisturize your hair. So again, I see all these videos and images and things like that on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube, and people are like, I go through a bottle of leave-in conditioner every week. And it's like, oh my gosh, why are you using so much leave-in conditioner? You don't need all that leave-in conditioner. You literally need like this much per week. You don't need a lot. What you do need is a moisturizer. So, and the reason that people are using so much is because their hair's dry, right? So they're putting the leave-in conditioner on and then it dries, because that's what products do. They eventually dry over time. And then they go back and they notice that their hair is dry. So they're putting more on to try and get that moisturized feeling again. But it's just gonna dry again, because that's what it is not designed to moisturize your hair. Okay. So the reason that people are using so much is because it's drying. They're putting more on, it's drying, then they put some more on, it dries again, and they put some more on, and they're going through these, bottles and bottles of leave-in conditioner literally every week. Okay, so if you're using a moisturizer, you won't have that problem. So stop using leave-in conditioners as moisturizers, because they're not moisturizers. Okay. And the third thing that you guys are using incorrectly is curl definers or curl creams. Those, a lot of times, unless it specifically says moisturizing curl cream or like our product, which is again the step 2 moisture infusion styling cream, it specifically says moisture infusion styling cream. So it lets you know this is a moisturizer and it's a styling cream. However, a lot of times they're just curl creams. Like they literally say curl cream, or they will say curl gel or curl definer. And those are designed solely to define your curls or to style your hair. Styling products are oftentimes not moisturizers. So again, none of these 3 products are wrong or bad to use, provided that the ingredients are top notch, like we've always talked about. But you do want to make sure that you're using them for the right thing and in the right order, right? Yes, or even curl enhancing is another example. So a good moisturizer, again, will always have water as the first ingredient. The product should literally say moisturizer on the label. Moisturizer should be on the label. However, before you leave, as we've always discussed, make sure that you turn the label around. On the back of the label, you will find the ingredients. Do not leave that store without ensuring that water is the first ingredient. Okay, water should always be the first ingredient. I don't care what brand it is. I don't care what it says or what somebody tells you. I'm telling you, water needs to be the very first ingredient, because it is the basis for a great moisturizer, okay? Water's first ingredient. Second thing, you want to make sure that your moisturizer does not have any mineral oil in it. A lot of moisturizers have mineral oil in them, or they say they're moisturizers, but they're really not, because they have mineral oil. Mineral oil is a byproduct of when gasoline companies distill gasoline from crude oil. And what's left over is the byproduct of that is mineral oil. It is actually cheaper for the gas companies to sell mineral oil to cosmetic companies than it is for them to dispose of it. And so because of that, you will oftentimes find mineral oil at the very top of the list of a lot of products, because it's literally pennies on a dollar. And so think about how oil feels, right? It feels slick. It's often shiny. So what happens is you put it on your hair, and in the moment it looks shiny and it feels kind of moisturized. But because mineral oil is a blocker, it is literally a moisture blocker, right? So pretend my hand is a product that has mineral oil on it, and my fist is a strand of my hair, and I'm going to put that on. And then let's say my fingers are a a product that it's a really good moisturizer, but I'm trying to get it onto my hair and it's not able to get to my hair because this mineral oil product is blocking it. Okay, it's literally blocking it. If you find a product that has mineral oil in it, you want to put it down. It is not designed for people who have naturally dry hair. Another way that mineral oil can oftentimes be hidden is in a term that says paraffinium liquidum. That is like the official FDA term for mineral oil. So unless you are a super savvy shopper or you're even like a chemist or something, you may not know that paraffinium liquidum is the same thing as mineral oil. But if you see either mineral oil or paraffinium liquidum on the back of your label, you want to put that product down. Third thing you want to make sure that you see in your moisturizer is that you do not want to see any man-made alcohols. Now, not all alcohols are bad. There are at least 3 or 4 good ones, and I'll name a few. One is cetyl alcohol. That's C-E-T-Y-L. Another one is stearyl alcohol. That's S-T-E-A-R-Y-L. And the third one is ceteryl alcohol. That's C-E-T-E-A-R-Y-L. Those 3 alcohols, and again, there's a couple more, but those are 3 really great alcohols to find in your moisturizer because those are actually coconut-derived alcohol. So think about like grapes, right? We leave grapes out for so long, they ferment, they form an alcohol, and you know, we have a couple drinks and we have a good time, right? Nothing wrong with that, provided you don't go too ham on the drinking. But the same thing happens with coconuts, right? So you leave coconuts out for so long, they ferment, they form an alcohol, and instead of drinking that alcohol, a lot of times you'll find them in cosmetics, and these are actually humectants. So humectants are ingredients that actually draw moisture to it. So you want things that are going to draw moisture to you, such as these alcohols. Other alcohols, they are man-made in a lab and you do not want them. Those examples would be like SD alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, trying to think of other ones, literally rubbing alcohol. Like you can find those in some hair products, and those are man-made. Those will dry your hair, so you don't want to find those in your moisturizer. So those are the 3 things that you need to be looking for in a good moisturizer when you're at the store. Again, the product should say moisturizer on it. If it doesn't say moisturizing or moisturizer, it is more than likely not designed to moisturize your hair. So if you're trying to use a leave-in conditioner or an oil or a curl cream or curl enhancer or anything like that as a moisturizer, you're going to be sorely disappointed and you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be mad, you're going to be wasting money, and you're going to be so upset. So take it from me. I hope this video helps you save some time and frustration, because I know a lot of y'all, I see you all again at the expos, I see you at literally sometimes just at the stores in the aisles and you know how it is, like you see somebody who has like pretty, you know, nice looking hair, and you'll say, hey, what do you use in your hair? Because I'm frustrated with my hair. What should I use? And so I get that a lot. I also have you guys emailing me, DMing me, questioning, leaving questions in the group. And I'm always happy to answer, but I want you all to be informed and I don't want you to be frustrated. So when you go to the store, make sure that you are looking for the things that I mentioned. If you guys have any questions, as always, you can drop them in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching.